Hey guys, Mikers here. Quick PSA update with the Black Desert Academy and cooking. Okay, so it's come to my attention after several subscribers and other people hitting me up in the Discord that you guys have been using utensils under the wrong situations. So I just wanted to help you guys out, and I should have made this video months sooner. Sorry about that. So what I'm here to address is that a lot of you are using utensils with the name Balanos, Serendia, and Calpheon. These utensils aren't bad if used under the right conditions, but I know a lot of you are new players and do not have the resources to craft your own utensils. Understandably. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to specify what circumstances you use certain utensils, okay? So when you just start off the game, I don't expect you guys to have a lot of cooking speed. You guys should probably have either maybe 10-second cooking speed, 11, 12, right? And that makes cooking the smallest batches seem a lot longer. And at this point in time, if you're going to be AFK for about 2 hours or less, then I want to say 2.5 hours or less, then I want to strongly recommend the regular 100 durability cooking utensils, okay? So these 100 durability cooking utensils should last you about, I want to say, 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And if you're away just for a short period of time, or if you're in your house, which is a big difference. So if you're in your house and you know you can check your computer every 30 minutes to an hour, use these utensils. This will increase your productivity immensely. Now, cooking utensils is what I use, and I place several of them in my house in rows. That way I get to step slightly to the side and keep cooking after my 100 is burnt up. And like I said, if you are new to the game, your cooking utensil speed is really slow, so this should last you to 2 to 3 hours. These utensils only last me about maybe 10 minutes. So yeah, big difference. So for my new players, I do recommend cooking utensils like these. Now, if you're an older player with fast cooking speed who have the resources to have an enchanted cooking gear, then yes, use these if you can revisit your computer at least every hour. So if you can visit your computer every hour, use regular cooking utensils. And if it's going to be an hour plus, then you can use Balanos or Calpheon or Serendia or whatever. Okay? So another thing I want to do is tell you guys about ways of increasing your cooking time. So you got several different ways, okay? So I will say about 4 ways that I know of. If there's more ways, please leave a comment. One way is an alchemy stone. A life alchemy stone at any stage of color at least gives you a cooking time and alchemy time reduction. And getting a sharp one with a low color is the most affordable option. So a sharp or a sturdy green is the ideal outcome of you getting an alchemy stone for life, if you're just trying to focus on cooking and alchemy. Okay, so if you can, try to find a sturdy or polished alchemy stone for life. Me, I've yet to get a sturdy because I'm lazy, so I've just been using a polish. But sharp ones and sturdy ones are ideal, especially if they're green or white. Next way of getting a better cooking speed is enchanting the silver embroidered costumes. Now, to enchant silver embroidered costumes, it works similar to accessories, where you will open a UI and you will have to smash it together using a costume of the same type. So it will look something like this. So you open the UI and you place these two together, or you do something like place this with another thing and you will just hit enhance. They work similar to accessories, so if you fail, the item is destroyed completely. So it is quite difficult to get these costumes at +3 and up. But at the beginning of the game, I do recommend getting it to +1 because it's relatively easy, but the difficulty scaling happens fairly quickly after +2. Next, after silver embroidered costumes, is the actual in-game sorcerer's canopy costume, or whatever class you are using. Every class has a canopy costume. The canopy costume will give you access to bonus cooking EXP as well as a reduction of cooking time by 2 seconds. These costumes are very helpful for you leveling your cooking by a lot and by a large margin, and as well as the amount of production, obviously, by 2 seconds. So these things are very helpful and can really add up once you get all the pieces to the puzzle together. Now, the last thing I want to recommend is cooking food. Now, this spongy teff bread is one of the ideal things to have. There are several different foods though. I think the best food to have for reduction is called teff sandwich. And the teff sandwich should be in the marketplace, but it's fairly rare and high in demand. So let's see what we have. Let's see. So we have teff. And here we go. Spicy Teff sandwich is the ultimate one, reducing your cooking time by half a second. These are really put up for sale, but if you're really interested in cooking as fast as possible, I suggest you put this on notices. You can also buy the regular Teff ones, which gives you the same amount of cooking reduction, but the duration is just a little bit shorter. But without those two options, it's safe to go with Teff bread. Regular Teff bread gives you 0.3 seconds and is easier to buy without you having to stalk the marketplace, as well as the spongy version, which is the same amount of cooking reduction but a longer duration. Okay, so that is pretty much the 4 ways to reduce your cooking time: enchanting your in-game costume, buying the cash shop costume, buying an alchemy stone, and buying food. If there is a 5th way that I have not mentioned, please leave it in the comments, because once again, I am a derp. Okay, so let me know if there's a 5th way that I have not mentioned. Okay, so to sum things up with this PSA video, guys, is to use the regular cooking utensils if you're home and only AFK for about 2 hours or under. If you're a high level cook speeder, then yes, an hour or less. Now, when to use a bell nose utensil. A bell nose utensil is something you want to use if you're going to be AFK for about, I want to say, 4 hours. If you're going to be AFK for about 4 hours with complete no way of accessing your computer and refreshing, then use a bell nose utensil. Okay? So most likely if you're away from home for about 4 or 5 hours and you have a little bit slow cooking speed, then yes, bell nose utensil. If you have fast cooking speed, 3 hours or maybe 2.5, and you'll be burning this out. Okay? Now, the next one I want to talk about is Serendia. This is one that actually requires you to gather resources to craft in a utensil shop. And I don't have one open, but I'm just going to go over one right now. Most likely, if you're going to be making utensils, you're going to have no choice but to go to Glitch, because Glitch is the only place that I know of that has level 4 tool workshop with advanced alchemy tools at the last level. Anyway, what I'm going to suggest is that you use most likely Serendia when you are AFK for about 5 to 6 hours, even with decent cooking speed, and use Calpheon if you're going to be AFK for a long period of time. But Calpheon is something that you should not make unless you have extremely large amounts of weight limit, okay? Because there's no way you can stockpile the resources on one character long enough to use the whole durability in one sitting unless you have extremely high amount of weight limit. I want to say at least 1,400 pounds plus. And that's if you're using special crops and not having to use the actual raw ones, which will double or triple that weight. So Calpheon is most likely out of the table for even me, okay? I only use Serendia. So I'm going to just talk about Serendia right now. So Serendia is something that only takes 20 rough stones, 15 logs, 20 melted shards, and black stone powders, okay? I get my melted shards by a melting gear that I get while I'm grinding. The logs I get from chopping woods, and the rough stones I get about every 2 weeks. I go to Pilgrim's Haven and I wreak absolute havoc and gather about 5 to 8,000 rough stones, and they'll last me at least a month. But I go every 2 weeks, so I get ahead of it. So that's pretty much how those resources are handled by me. This utensil is what you might want to use if you're AFK overnight or you're at work working at least a 6 to 8 hour shift. This is when I recommend using a Serendia utensil. Do not touch the Serendia utensils if you're not going to be AFK for 6 hours or more. I'm being very specific so you guys are as efficient as possible when using these utensils, okay? And whenever it comes to cooking or alchemy, those rules are interchangeable. It doesn't matter if you're an alchemist or a cook, okay? So that is pretty much what I wanted to get through to you guys. So please use regular cooking utensils as often as possible to increase the basic growth of your contribution empire, okay, guys? You guys are, I'm pretty sure from what the testimonies I got in messages and private PMs and stuff like that, that you guys are doing pretty much fine. I'm happy that my guide helped you guys, and honestly, contribution is everything for passive income. And even I'm not on this level, but once you have about, I want to say, 300 plus contribution, a large number of artists and workers, you can make a lot of money just from the resources they gather. Thanks to the whole trade thing going boom, black spirit powder is actually hard to come by, but also raw materials are very easy to sell, especially if we are too lazy to process them ourselves or make crates ourselves. aka me. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. Hopefully you guys who are using the wrong utensils under the wrong situations are using faster ones. And I'll see you guys next time. It's been Black Desert Academy PSA update. It's been Mikers. Much love to everyone. Peace.